I've been having a just a trouble here connecting all morning.
Oh, no worries. We're glad to have you on the show now, and really excited to have Carden Circus coming back into town. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, good morning. How's everyone doing today?
Well, we're hanging in there. It's a Friday, and we're ready to, get into the weekend. But, we're only just a couple of days away. May 28th is going to be here before we know it. How's everything been so far with Carden Circus this year?
Well, it's been a great season so far. We have a lot more cities on our list here before the summer break. We are traveling shows on the road. It's been a great show, a great cast. The show has been getting better as the performances go on. We're excited. We're excited to keep this show going on the road.
And, Rulito, how long have you been the ringmaster for Cardens?
Well, this is my second season on the Carden Circus. Last year, I was just the comedian, the clown of the show. And this year, I got the opportunity to be the ringmaster of the show, which, of course, I took. I auditioned, I nailed it, and I'm very happy and excited because this year I get to bring something new to the show. Usually, the circus has just the ringmaster and just the clown, but this year I get to be both parts, and it's something. I'm introducing a new style, a new format of hosting, a new format of comedy, and the way I get to blend in both arts into one. It's actually gaining a really good crowd reaction. It's a whole new dynamic, changes the aspect of the show, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Well, and I remember last year when we were talking, this is a part of your heritage and your bloodline, correct?
Yep, I am fifth generation of the of my circus family. So that means what we all have in common that we were all clowns. Our family name is famous for world famous clowns. One of the best comedians out there in South America. My grandfather, my dad, my great grandfather were all clowns. Now that's what we all have in common. Now, of course, each and every one we had different acts and talents. My dad was a flying trapeze artist. My grandfather was a horseback rider. I love to do the high wire. I juggled. It's good to learn a little bit of little tricks and trades throughout as you go out.
How do you start learning something like this? Any one of these, because this isn't like, I'm learning to ride a bike.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just for us. For us and our community. It just sounds so normal. Hey, Dad, I want to get shot out of the cannon. All right, let's start working. You know what I mean? When kids grow up in the circus, you're not really forced or obligated to follow the tradition. If you like to be a clown, like for example, if my family lineage was flying trapeze artists, which there are, I wouldn't have to be forced. We get to test, we get to do, we get to see, we get to grow up with so many, people and acts every time we're touring that we get to do and see what we like. And of course, I really like the comedy part of the show. It's still my favorite part of the show. You can't have a circus without clowns in the show. I really liked what my parents did and my grandfather did, so I wanted to continue it.
Fantastic. And going into this as well, this is going to be a really fun night for families. And I think it's great that you guys do such a really good job of putting on that entertainment aspect and still making it exciting and still making it really for everybody to enjoy. Now, on the 28th, anyone that arrives an hour early gets a free pre-show too, correct?
Oh, that's right. We just not only offer a 2 hour long performance. If you come with the whole family an hour before the show, we have rides, attractions, meet and greets with the performers. I will be there. Get your face painted, souvenir photographs, camel pony rides, and of course those delicious circus treats. We have a new special item on the menu, and our deep fried Oreos. They're delicious. They're killing the crowds. They are selling out. So come out there and enjoy.
Well, what's your favorite component of what you're doing now with role as ringmaster?
It's like I mentioned before. It's a new format. It's a new style of performing, where I get to combine both traditions into one, and the crowd has been reacting very well to it. I'm also still learning every day, adding new stuff. My favorite part is that the circus is very special because from the little boy to the old grandpa, everyone will have a great time at the circus. We have a little bit of everything for everybody. If you're an animal lover, we have the animal acts. If you love the thrills, we have the thrill acts. We have aerial acts. And me to get to be part of that, or to stand in the middle and share the stage with all these incredible performers we have this year, is really a great pride and privilege to have. Share the stage. Helping families create memories that they will never forget, or they will keep on carrying on. The kids will talk about for months to come. Tell their friends, you didn't get to go to the circus. Well, I did. That's the best part. Just looking into the audiences, you see faces of all types of sizes, colors, tones. It's just everyone at the circus becomes one, and it just has a great time, and that's what's beautiful about this job, and I really like it.
Absolutely, and we're all going to see that on display again. It happens May the 28th. Starts at 7 p.m. You got that hour pre-show before. You're getting you 3 hours of just excitement, fun. And, this is all at Madison County Fairgrounds. The physical address, 2025 Park Hill Drive. That's in Highland. We'll link all that in a RiverBender.com article. You guys can get tickets at spectacularcircus.com. Now, there are some group rates as well with 25% off group discount with a purchase of 10 or more. There's some other things that are a part of that. Again, we'll link all the fun details that are pertinent to the specific individual online. But I got to go into this. I got to ask you. I'm looking, and there's a buffalo being ridden on. This is the coolest darn thing I think I've seen in a while. I got to ask you about that, and the follow-up afterwards is, what's the craziest or most defying stunt, if you will, at the circus without giving away too much?
Ooh, well, we have something new in the show this year. It's an acrobatic duo from West Africa. They're great people, great performers. We have a double spinning wheel, and this guy, he will jump over 40 feet in the air, and he will do a full forward somersault with no mechanic, no safety net, just while the contraption is spinning. It's really one of the tricks, one of the parts of the show that keeps you at the edge of your seat. The buffalo is always a great act to be. It's beautiful, the buffalo act as well, because these big majestic creatures, how they create and they have an incredible strong bond between animal and human in the show. Those guys, they're part of our family as well, like all of the other animals. It's really great out to see just how these two species just combine together. It's a sight to see, to believe.
Well, and that's right. I'm excited. I can't wait to go up and check this out. This is going to be such a great event. And, before we move on to the wrap up here and go into the overall just kind of final pitch of the event, you guys have a really busy schedule. You're nonstop. It's road, go, go, go. How do you all maintain that? Has it just become a way of life for everybody?
To be honest, it's a way of life, because ever since I was little, that's my, we have a saying, home is where the trailer parks, and then there's another saying, home is where the big top sets.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my family's from Argentina. I live in Orlando. A lot of people live here in Springfield. The circus is from Springfield, Missouri, the winter quarters. So a lot of people bought homes, and they moved in here. Of course, they still follow their heritage of where they're from. But it's normal for us. I grew up always traveling city to city, meeting new people. When we're done practicing or rehearsals, or either if there's a breakdown, we're always fixing to get on to the next spot. We get to walk around, see the new city, the new town, the new sites, the local coffee shop. It has its ups and downs, of course. Like I mentioned, we have breakdowns all the time. Last year we calculated we did 40,000 miles in one season, taking the show from city to city. And it's all worth it, man. It really is at the end of the day. I don't see myself doing another job, which I did do another job in the pandemic. A lot of us have to do it. And I never complained. A job is a job for me, but this is what I love to do. This is what I want to keep on doing. My grandfather, he turned 90 years old the other day, about a month ago. He turned 90 years old. He doesn't travel anymore because, we convinced him at least to stop that, but he's over in Argentina, and if, believe me or not, he still does birthday party events, special events, because you can't get the performer out of him. He's 90 years old, and he's out there still spreading joy.
That's fantastic. It's always great talking with you. It was great chatting it up with you last year. Before we wrap up here and say so long for now, give us the final overall pitch, if you could. What's the sales pitch out of the new ringmaster of Carden's here for seeing you on the 28th in Highland?
Put me on the spot here, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare to see wonders of one of a kind. Here at the circus, we have the thrills, the chills, the animals, the aerial acts, and memories that you will never forget at the all-new spectacular 3-ring Carden International Circus.
Fantastic. Hey, thank you so much for your time. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com, and can't wait to see you guys out there.
Perfect. We'll see you there.
We're out of time today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'll be back on at 4:30 this afternoon. I'll see you back here live in the studio Monday. Until then, try your best, as always, to stay out of jail.